Hey guys, what's poppin'? And I am back once again with the Urban Legend series. This is part 7, titled Sexcapades, and I'm going to go through the whole chapter. This way I'll be able to go through the whole entire Urban Legend series a little bit faster. There won't be so many. Okay, so let's get on with Sexcapades. The first story is called The Stuck Couple. I'm gonna try to do this without my glasses. If I mess up too many times, I'll put my glasses on. Okay, a friend of a friend was getting ready to go out one evening when he noticed from his bedroom window that there was a car blocking the mouth of the drive. As he had some time to spare, he ignored it, expecting it to go away. However, nearly an hour later, he found that it was still there, and he could see no signs of life. He walked down to investigate. There inside was a coupled. "Thank God you've come," shouted the man. "Something's gone in my back, and I can't move." So the FOAF went back and called the police. And they called an ambulance and the fire brigade. The upshot of it was the firemen had to cut the top off of the car to lift the man out. While they were waiting for the other stretcher, the officer in charge said to the woman, "I'm frightfully sorry that we've had to cut up your husband's car." She smiled wanly and replied, "That's all right, it's not my husband." Oh my god. Cheating bitch. Okay, this one is called Stick Shift Frenzy. OB. Something terrible happened to a girl at our school. She was at a party when some boys thought it would be a good joke to put a Spanish fly in her drink. You know what it is, don't you? If you don't, it's something that makes you want to go all the way. After drinking her drink, she told her boyfriend to meet her out in the car. Spanish fly is mad old. I heard about that. When he went out there, she had F herself to death. No lie. On the gear shift, this is true. It was on the papers even. Oh my god. No way. She humped the gear shift. Oh my god, that's some crazy shit. Alrighty. Man. Oh my god. Okay, the next one is called The Bothered Bride and the Grumbling Groom. Stunned wedding guests are still talking about a posh California ceremony that began as a happy event, but wound up with a shocking finale. The bride and groom, an unidentified couple from Simi Valley, California, never went through with their marriage because the bride revealed a little secret just as they were tying the knot. According to Los Angeles Society columnist Mary Louise Oates, the young lady walked down the aisle in her gorgeous gown, joined the groom, the maid of honor, and the best man at the altar. Then whispered to the minister that she wanted to make a little speech. First, she thanked her parents for their love and support for all they had done for her throughout the years, for the love and planning they had lavished on her beautiful wedding. Guests were filled with emotion. Then she thanked her friends for their devotion, for their kindness and affection, for the presents they had showered on her happy occasion. Friends and relatives choked back their tears. Finally, the bride turned her attentions to her maid of honor. "And I would like to thank the maid of honor," she said sweetly. "I would like to thank her for sleeping with my groom last night." With that, the blushing bride left the church and gasped and whispered. She did not look back, and she did not toss her bouquet to the guests. The bride's father, shocked but chivalrous, invited the wedding guests to a reception, explaining that it would be a shame to waste the elaborate preparations. Apparently, the bride did not attend, and neither did the groom or maid of honor. Caption of a photograph of a blindfolded bride. The identity of the bride was withheld to save her from any further embarrassment. Oh my god. That is crazy. Wow. She didn't get married. Okay, so now I got what you call it? Oh, thank you, Hazel. Oh, we got what you call it? We got a spammer in here this morning. Hope you're having fun. Okay, now, next one. Get to the next story here. Let me find it. Okay, I think this one's it. Yeah, filmed in the act. Okay, this is not an advice column. So, readers don't usually ask me for my wisdom about their love lives. I was pleased, however, to receive the following letter. Oh, that's a shame. I hope that I have an urban legend for you. A woman from a large city in the east wrote me early last spring. Any reassurance would be welcome. My husband and I have taken a suite at one of those honeymoon resorts in the Poconos for a weekend. While I was showing the brochure to my brother-in-law, he said something about being careful of the mirrors. When I asked what he was talking about, he explained that some friend of his had spent their honeymoon at one of those places. Then years later, watching an adult channel on TV in Las Vegas, what should come on for all of the world to see but movies of their honeymoon. They had been made through two-way mirrors. Of course, the suite we booked is full of mirrors. Over the bed, around the pool, etc. I really need to hear that this story isn't true. And that Betty Does Bill, made up names, won't be played in moat rooms across the country. Oh, well, that's nice, Hazel. Thank you for telling me. I wrote back to assure Betty and Bill that they can take their vacation without worrying that they will become porn stars. The story that the couples in honeymoon hotels are filmed in the act for later screening as X-rated movies is widely told, but completely untrue. I guess it's true that many honeymoon resorts features mirrors around the beds, heart-shaped tubs, and pools. Yes, they are. Theme rooms, etc. But research into such matters extended beyond my professional specialty in folklore. As for what goes on behind those mirrors in popular Pocono region in northeastern Pennsylvania, seems to be the most common resort area where honeymooners are allegedly filmed by hidden cameras. But the same story is told about other resorts throughout the East and Midwest, and in vacation centers in the Rockies and on the West Coast as well. Often, as in Betty and Bill's version, the films are supposed to be made in one region for showing in another. This one assumes lessens the chance of a filmed couple and their friends later seeing the movies. Some people believe that these films are made in low-cost hotel chains for showing in such imagined sin centers at Las Vegas or Atlantic City. Maybe this is supposed to indicate the price you pay for using cheap motels. Sometimes it's said that the films are made to be shown to later occupants of the same suite. On these suites, there is alleged to be one-time only rule to prevent people from seeing themselves on film. Other variants claims that the mirror rooms is rented very cheaply so as to provide a supply of performers for the films. Thank you very much. I should do audiobooks. Okay, the most common ending for the film in the act stories. The couple sued the hotel for damages. Surely they would do so if the stories were true, but I haven't heard of any such suits. Further evidence of the story's dubious origin. I heard from one resident of the Poconos who had worked as a waiter in a popular resort hotel. He told me he was asked so often by guests about the honeymoon film story that he took the question to the president of the resort chain. The executive told him that every major vacation area in the country has similar stories and none have ever been proved. Nor would any resort owner be so stupid as to try such a thing. Okay, so, in my opinion, the rumor may give businesses a boost. The honeymooners, or whoever they are, who patronize places with fantasy mirrors, suites enjoy more than just the change of decor. They also gain the delicious thrill that other people may know or suspect what fun they've been having. I suppose we could call it a kind of imagined reverse voyeurism, which is certainly better and more legal than the real thing. By the way, I recently got a picture postcard discreetly showing a couple in a private swimming pool of a fantasy suite in the Poconos Resort Hotel. The message written on the card was simply this: having a wonderful time. Thank you, Betty and Bill. Okay, so that, I think, the hidden mirror, I have heard the hidden mirrors in hotel rooms. People, that have been filmed in their rooms while, on their honeymoon and such. As for, whether it's true or not, I mean, I don't know, but I have heard that before. I have heard that in the past. So, okay, this one is called Superhero Hijinks. I would like to share a story with you that I heard in December of 1989 and accepted as true until I saw a similar story in Ann Lander's column in early 1990. This was told to me by my supervising teacher at East Haven High School, East Haven, Connecticut. When I was doing my student teaching, my supervisor's sister had a friend of a friend who moved into a quiet neighborhood in Madison, Connecticut. I love how they say that in all these urban legends. A friend of a friend of a friend of a friend's sister or a friend's cousin's cousin's niece's nephew. Like they always add 5 people that said the story. You know what I mean? Thank you, Nintu. I remember you. Okay, one morning in the fall of 1989, the woman was raking leaves on her front lawn when she heard someone calling, "Help me. Somebody help me." At first, she thought she was just hearing things, and nobody seemed to be around on this Saturday morning, but the sound persisted. "Help me. Somebody please help me." So the woman took her rake and started walking across the yard towards the faint cry. It led her to a house a few houses down from her own, and the woman went near the back door. She realized the cry was coming from inside the house. The woman went to the back door and called out the name of the person who lived there. "Help me, in here, in here." What was she heard next? So she opened the back door and went inside, following the cries to the bedroom. The lady of the house was completely naked, and her hands and feet were tied to the bedpost. On the floor was her husband, naked except for a Superman cape. Okay. It seems that the man had stood on the bedroom dresser and made a flying leap to the bed, but he hit his head on the night table and was still out cold. The couple's children were at a religion class or something. The neighbor called paramedics to come, and she covered both her husband and wife with blankets, but she was unable to untie the wife. When the paramedics came in, they couldn't stop laughing. My supervisor said that this story spread throughout the neighborhood, and the husband and wife started leaving for work very early and returned very late so as not to face the neighbors. Eventually, they put their house up for sale. Now that is embarrassing. Oh my god. I know role play in the bedroom, but seriously, like the husband trying to fly to the bed, that's a little drastic. Okay. There is two more stories left in this chapter of Sexcapade, you guys. So here we go. This one is called Sex in Disguise. Okay, a couple was invited to a real swanky, this is written weird, masked Halloween party. So the wife got costumes for both. On the night of the party, she got such a terrible headache that she told her husband to go without her. He protested, but she said all she was going to do was take a couple of aspirins and go to bed. There was no need for his good time to be spoiled by not going. So he got into his costume and off he went. The wife, after sleeping soundly for an hour, woke without a sigh of pain. As it was just a little after 9, she decided to go to the party. In as much as her husband didn't know what kind of costume she was wearing, she thought it would be a good thing to slip into the party and observe how he acted when she wasn't around. So she joined the party, and the first one she spied was her husband, kept cavorting around on the dance floor, dancing with one slick chick and then another, copping a little feel here and there. So the wife slipped up to him, and being a rather seductive babe herself, she left his partner standing high and dry and devoted his attentions to the new stuff that had just arrived. She let him go as far as he wished, naturally, and finally, when he whispered a little proposition, she agreed, and they went out to one of the cars, etc., etc., etc. Just before unmasking at midnight, she slipped away, went home, and got back into bed, wondering what kind of explanation her husband would make for his behavior. He came home and went right into the bedroom to see how she was. She was sitting up reading and then asked what kind of time he had. He said, "Oh, the same old thing, I never have a good time when you aren't there." Then she said, "Did you dance much?" He said, "Well, I'll tell you, I never danced a dance when I got there. Bill Rivers, Lee Brown, and some of the guys were stag too. So we just went back into the den and played poker. But I'll tell you one thing, that fellow I loaned my costume to sure had a hell of a time." Oh, she fucked some other dude. Oh my god, and she thought her husband was a player. Man, that is messed up. Man, oh. Okay, I think this one is the last one. Is this the last one? Yes, it is. Okay. This one's called AIDS Mary and AIDS Harry. "I'm scared to death," said Christy, 23. She worked at a financial company in Denver with her 21-year-old girlfriend, Elise. They were sitting on one of those carpeted seats high above the dance floor, watching the goings-on around them. People are going to use AIDS to get back at other people, Christy predicted. Then she told me this horrifying story. A guy she knows, the friend of someone she works with, met a girl at a club named Josephina. He flirted with her, she responded, and before he knew it, they were at his place having sex. He couldn't believe his good fortune. The next morning, he woke up alone, went into the bathroom, and nearly fainted. There, written in lipstick on his mirror, was a note the girl had left him. It said, "Welcome to the AIDS family." Oh man, that is messed up. I remember hearing people doing that. Actually, that one I believe. Okay, this one is, a woman meets a man in a bar. They hit it off right away, and the man asks her to join him on vacation at his beach house in the Bahamas. She accepts and goes with him. They make love, and the woman has never been happier. On the day she had to leave, the man sees her off at the airport. He gives her a present, telling her not to open it until she gets home. Back home, she finds a coffee maker inside. A note on it says, "This is for all the lonely nights you'll be facing. Welcome to the world of AIDS." Oh man, that is fucked up. That is messed up. Yeah, I've heard of that actually. That urban legend is unfortunately is not an urban legend. It is true. I've heard people purposely doing that. Giving AIDS to people back in the 80s when it first came out. People knew what it was. They knew how to catch it. And they were actually doing that, getting back at their exes. Giving it to people, people telling them, asking them to sleep with such and such person, to give it to them as like a payback, as a revenge thing. So that, I have heard it has been true, unfortunately, and it is a messed up thing. And also it's unfortunate because it has happened today. So, it's still going on. Okay, so that was chapter 7. Hope you guys enjoyed it. The next chapter will be called Losing Face, which I'm sure I'll be doing soon, probably this week. I also want to try to get back into the tramadol withdrawal blogs that I am behind on, which I promised some of you guys I would do. So I'm gonna leave this here. Hope you guys enjoyed that. So if you guys did, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Anytime you want to be notified of a new video, just hit that post notification bell down below in the corner. Till next time, you guys, peace out, God bless, love all of y'all. Laters.